Hey guys, it's Austin Bach. Welcome to my first M14 Sealed event on MTGO. First thing you guys might notice is that I found a new software to render my video before putting it on YouTube, so you're seeing a much better quality, hopefully, if I did it right um, on the cards. So hopefully this is better than the 480 or whatever the old quality was that I had my previous videos on, but should be fixed. Anyway, start by looking at rares. Ooh, got a couple mythics, both in black. One of them kind of sucks, but Shadowborn Demon is pretty sweet. Johnny's Chosen is nice if we have some good enchantments like pacifisms and whatnot. Or even Mark of the Vampires if we get lucky. Doesn't look like it, but Planar Cleansing's not bad either. And Mutavault, which goes into pretty much any deck, with a few exceptions. So, let's start by sorting our colors. I'll look at black first. Heavy on the 5 drops, but that's okay. Whoops, don't want these Diabolic Tutors. One's usually okay, but I don't love it. Ooh, a Blightcaster too, so here's hoping our enchantments are really good. Just gonna look right now. We have one Pacifism, an Aromancer. We might, Anyway, I'm gonna keep looking at our stuff. It might not work out, but you never know. Mind Rot's playable. Blood Baron, Child of Night, Festering Newt. No Bubbling Cauldrons though, so I mean it's still playable, just as a Festering Goblin, but would have liked to have the combo. Not a big fan of Grim Return, but it is playable in some cases. It's also worth noting that our black doesn't really have any removal other than the Blightcaster with only the Mark of the Vampire turning it on in black and the Shadowborn Demon, which granted is not bad. Anyway, let's look at white, because I think white pairs up pretty well with black. Planar Cleansing is playable. It is removal. Seas Mastodon I can see playing one of. Johnny's Chosen, just as a hill giant, is fine. A couple Pillarfield Oxes we can consider. Solemn Offering is actually very playable in the main deck, because there's a lot of artifacts and enchantments that you'd want to get rid of. Hive Stirrings, Aromancer, Capuchin Knight, Sliver, Pacifism. Alright, sorry for that delay there. I had a minor glitch in my recording software. Anyway, we were looking at our white cards. Shore of Valor is the last card I was looking at. Opportunity, Messenger Drake. Oh, our blue looks pretty sweet. A lot of flyers and a Warden of Evocile, which is basically a land in this deck, or a mana rock with a 2/2 body attached. Claustrophobia is decent removal, but that looks like it's just about it. Essence Scatter and Disperse, I guess, are fine. Coral Merfolk is playable, but I don't love it. Alright, so red. We could play one Lava Axe, maybe. A lot of Lightning Talons. Flames of the Firebrand. We can maybe splash that off of our Shimmering Grottos. Academy Raider and a Shock. Yeah, that doesn't look great. Browse of Expendables is fine too. I mean, it has the removal, but red on its own I don't think is going to happen. Oh, I forgot the Marauding Mulhorn, which is pretty good with like Lightning Talons or whatever. But yeah, red is just too shallow, I think. So I'm going to cut all the non-removal red cards. Keep the ones that I am considering splashing. Oh, Vile Rebirth I guess is a playable too. I'm try to move and consolidate all these. Oh, I forgot Dawnstrike Paladin, which is not bad. Alright, green. Spore Mounds, a couple Rumbling Veloths, and Enlarge. Predatory Sliver's pretty good. Deadly Recluse. Alright, not super exciting, but we've got some solid stuff. So what do I want to look at first? I do have kind of a soft spot for black, and our blue also looks pretty good. I'm going to see what our black-blue looks like, I suppose. Let's move these out of the way. Guess I'll leave the red in for now. Go for some kind of Grixis deck. Oh, this Mind Drop probably won't make the main deck, or this Grim Return. A lot of 4-drops. This Blightcaster is also pretty bad. It only the Mark of the Vampire turns it on. So let's see what happens if I sort this by, what am I looking for? Not creature type, name, no. I was trying to sort it by enchantments, but that wasn't going to work. I think our only enchantments are the pacifism in the sideboard. Oh, we do have the claustrophobia, I forgot about that. So not the worst. We could also splash the pacifism as well if we got really greedy. We don't have any like divinations or anything to smooth out our draws other than this opportunity. We would probably have to do something like play 18 lands with like an off color mountain and plains, so that doesn't seem great. Don't mind splashing these two cards though, because our removal is so thin. Yeah, we need to cut some of these. Probably the Blightcaster. No, an Archaeomancer. We like the Blightcaster just for the removal aspect. Bring this down. We can cut a Vampire Warlord as well, because we already have a lot of quality 5-drops. That brings us to 24. Vow Rebirth can come out. That's 23. But this seems like a deck that wants 18 lands, because we've got this abundance of 4 and 5 drops and an opportunity. So, well, we do have the Warden. Not sure. We could cut this Coral Merfolk as well. It's just a random 2/1 that doesn't do anything. The only thing it'd really be good for is to feed our Blood Baron. We don't have a lot of value with Blood Baron either. We can like sack a Shadowborn Demon or something if we didn't want to sack another creature. Okay. I'm gonna keep this deck in consideration. Let's take a look at our blue-white. It doesn't seem terrible. If we cut these red cards for now, let's see what it's looking like. We do have the planar cleansing in this deck. Cut a Siege Mastodon. Oops. Got some good removal. Hive Stirrings. Don't love Solemn Offering, but again, it is playable. Don't love Pillarfield Ox. Yeah, this deck looks a little bit thin. Only 13 creatures. I would want like 2 more that aren't Pillarfield Ox. Stuff that could actually attack profitably. Pretty much we only have the Air Servant. And a bunch of value guys like Archaeomancer and Auramancer, which again is pretty limited viability in this deck. So back to color. I mean, I love our blue. Our blue looks very, very good. So I probably want to play blue, but I'm going to keep considering our options and other color combinations. Let's take a look at black-white. This is probably the color combination that best supports our Blightcaster and the Johnny's Chosen, even though we only have 2 enchantments. Actually, let's try something new. Let's go back to our blue-black, but instead of splashing the red, let's splash a Pacifism and see what that does. Oops. That makes our Blightcaster better. We don't have the Johnny's Chosen anymore, though. 15 creatures. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. What does this deck want? Probably just more removal, right? I mean, we only have the Pacifism, Claustrophobia, and Disperse as semi-removal. And I don't think our random creatures are going to get there on their own. Like if we draw a Shadowborn Demon, sure, we can get there, but let's try bringing our red back in and the Pacifism back out. Yeah, this looks slightly better. We're back to our original 22 card Grixis build, which I think is fine. Still have a lot of 4 and 5 drops. Maybe I can justify cutting a Death Gaze Cockatrice or something. I don't know. Maybe I do want this Coral Merfolk just as a 2-drop. Let's go by color again. See if I'm forgetting anything in these colors. We could play Mind Rot, which isn't wonderful. What would our mana split look like? We'd have 2 Shimmering Grottos and the Mutavault. Maybe this isn't the deck for Mutavault, although we can cut this Coral Merfolk. Let's see. Probably get away with, yeah, we'd have to play 2 mountains probably. So let's go 2 mountains and see what they suggest. They want another mountain, but I'm okay with that. So that leaves us with 13 more lands, so we can go an extra island. No, I think we need the extra swamp. What does that do? We'll be okay on black mana. Let's see what our color skew looks like. Pretty even. Actually, almost exactly even. But I think we still want the black a little bit more for the early 2-drops and whatnot. The first blue creature that we really want to cast is the Warden. And if we draw like 1 island, we'll be okay for a while. Like in the late, it's not till the late game we're going to be casting Archaeomancer and Messenger Drake. Might mess up our curve a little bit on the blue end, but the alternative would be cutting Mutavault, which I think might be worth it. I'm still a little concerned about this Blightcaster. Only the Mark of the Vampire turns it on. The body's not terrible. It eats up bears, I guess, later on. Maybe I don't need the red splash. So that would lead me to cut 2 cards, bring 2 in. I could bring in Mind Rot and another Archaeomancer, but that just seems underwhelming. Might also be worth it to take out the Blightcaster for another Archaeomancer, because we have more targets for it. We have Opportunity, Flames, Disperse, Essence Scatter, and Shock. Nah. I still think this Blightcaster doesn't belong in our deck, though. What else can we bring in? Let's see. I guess it can just be a Coral Merfolk or a Negate. Negate does stop removal, and everyone's going to have removal. I'd rather have a Mind Rot, I think. Like, it kind of is flood removal. Like, it stymies the opponent's turns if we flood out on 18 lands or something. And it gives us something additional to do on turn 3. It just improves our curve. We don't have many great options creature-wise. Slightly concerned about the Shadowborn Demon as well. We're going to be eating our own guys a lot. Not a whole lot of ways to take advantage of it. Like, only 1 Festering Newt. Archaeomancers wouldn't be bad for that. It's good fodder for the Shadowborn Demon, I guess. And we have 2 other sack outlets we want to take advantage of. Like, this might just be a 5-mana sorcery speed kill a creature, which is going to be fine most of the time. So removal wise, we got Shock, Disperse, Essence Scatter, Flames, Claustrophobia, and the Demon, along with 2 Death Gaze Cockatrice. It doesn't seem terrible. Maybe we could fit in another threat in here somewhere. Problem is it would raise our curve considerably, and I don't want to do that. Coral Merfolk is probably the next best thing, but again, just as a 2-1, it's going to get outclassed very quickly, and this seems like the kind of deck we'll want to be on the draw anyway. What with our splash of a 3rd color and the Mutavault making our mana a little bit tighter. But I think this is the best build for us to give us the best shot here. Again, the Shimmering Grottos might set us back a turn on a lot of our stuff, but we have very resilient threats, ways to buy time, and good finishers, an opportunity to clean up. So we're going to go with this.